welcome to the 1/6 Scale Man proudly presents Take Your Position. How you guys doing? As you can see, we finally have the man himself in the box, in the black box. Figure that we've been waiting for quite some time, and we finally have him. Mr. SooSoo Toys Night Vigilante, aka Nightwing from the Batman family. And I'm so glad that I have this figure in front of me right now. I've been waiting for this for so long. And I can proudly say that so far SooSoo Toys has not disappointed with this figure. It's amazing. You'll see just in a bit. But it's a beautiful box art. You basically see in the front, it's a nice little silhouette piece of the Vigilante, aka Nightwing himself. Do like this piece, do like the box. But as always, you know what time it is. You know what we're here for. We're not to go over the accessories. We're not here to go over any type of reviews. You'll get the review by seeing the actual pose and seeing everything that actually comes with it. But I will show you some of the accessories. So without further ado, let's remove that box. And there you have the figure himself, Mr. Nightwing. That guy, the man, the myth, in all his pleasure. As you can see, basically we have the figure itself standing in the back. Nice little silhouette. And I will say that that figure is amazing. We have the figure stand like so. We have assortment of hands, two left, two right. We also actually, if you see right here, those are the batteries that actually go inside of these batons. Now, the batons, if you don't already know, they light up, and that's a nice little light up feature. This piece in front of you that you see, this little nice little thin piece right there, that's how you actually put, or put the batteries in the baton itself, how you install it. So it kind of helps you out with that. And then you actually have Nightwing's throwing stars on the side of him right there. But yep, that's everything that actually comes with the figure. We do have the nice little figure stand. SooSoo Toys always gives us a nice little figure stand. But yes, you know what time it is, and you know why you're here. You're here for the amazing poses and to see how we can actually, what we can actually come up with. A few ideas, something to help you figure out whether or not you want this figure, or if we can get you off that fence and get it once you see how we can articulate it. So without further ado, let's dive right on in. And here he is, none other than the Night Vigilante, aka Nightwing, the one we've been waiting for. I'm pretty much sure a few of you have been waiting for. I'm glad I got him in hand at the moment. A figure that I am highly impressed with. You can actually see from the detail of the armor, how it's outfitted, the likeness of the character, closely related to what we actually get from the television or the streaming series itself. So I am so happy to dive into this figure and get this thing posed up. Again, it's not uncommon to actually see that we have such an amazing figure from SooSoo Toys. They've knocked it out the park. Companies need to give these third-party companies a bit more leeway to create, because they are giving us some spectacular figures. So my hat's off to SooSoo. But anyway, enough talk. Let's get into posing. Again, we're going to start out with just the regular character pose, which character pose was coined by my man Will Foxification. So shout out to him. So I am so happy about that. Anyway, again, we're going to just get him just in a regular pose. It's something that you've probably seen before, and you'll probably see it throughout the internet. It doesn't really take much. All it is him with his arms crossed, baton down across his shoulder. And this is basically just him indicating that he is in charge. We just want to do it that way. Just something simple, not really too much. Doesn't really take much with this figure. Again, just get his hands, really close knit to his shoulders. This pose is just standard. It's, he has the batons across his shoulders just to indicate that he's in charge. Now, to get this, it does take a little bit of maneuverability, but it's not really hard at all. Again, just having the arms crossed down across the shoulders, slightly bent up. Now this one, there we go. Slightly bent up like so. Arms tilted up and the baton basically laid down. It's him just, saying who wants it. So have his stance, as you can see, we have the legs parted here, slightly out. Again, Have him tilted up. Now be careful with this figure because there's not a lot of his ankle joints are a bit tight or loose. May not be for a few of you guys, but for me it was. So again, something standard. If you don't want to actually do a whole bunch of extra poses, if you don't want too much going on in your DTOF where it's, again, as I always say, you don't want to damage the integrity of the figure. But if you want something just simple, this would be just basically what it is. Him with the batons on his shoulders, standing, just ready. You've seen this before. As again, let's just take it around so you can get an idea of how it's going to actually look. Again, I love the stature on this figure. I love the way he stands. I love the height. This is mainly true to form. When you get this figure, this is exactly how he's going to look. So again, this is just something normal. Again, I want to tell you, those ankle joints are a bit loose. So you got to be careful when you have him in your DTOF. And I'm sort of glad that, we get to see, and I'm showing you something like this so you can actually be aware. Again, I won't take that around again because, so you'll probably have to use the stand, which I know I will have to when it comes to posing this figure and having him in whether it's a DTOF, display case, module case, however you do it. Just make sure and just know that the ankle joints are a tad bit stiff, or not stiff, I'm sorry, loose. So if you're planning on posing this figure without the stand, you may run into some issues. So again, this is just a regular standard character pose, something you can have in your DTOF that would give it a bit of flair, and not really take away from the integrity of the figure. So if you have something like this and you have pretty much all the entire Bat family standing behind him or around him, or just keep in mind that we are and will be getting the rest of the Titans, so that will be coming shortly. But yes, this is how you'll have them. So again, I enjoyed, I love this piece, can't say enough about it. You'll love it once you get it in hand. So there you go. Let's move on to the next. We are back. Now, as you can see, I've incorporated the figure stand because, again, as we saw before, the stand itself, the figure itself by itself, the joints in the ankle, even though we get the ankle pivot, was a bit stiff. So I wanted to incorporate the stand, which is no biggie because, like I said, I'll be able to get the posability that I want. So for this next pose, it's going to be a bit more dynamic. And keep in mind that this particular figure has cloth around it. So it's, basically under the armor, this is all cloth material, soft material. So there are joints, double jointed elbows, double jointed knees, pivot in the actual ankles, butterfly joints. So you have that all there incorporated in this figure. So you can't really damage it too much. The only thing that you could probably bend is the armor. If you don't want to actually bend that armor, now it is plastic pieces, and I do like that it's Velcroed on. So if you even want to take the Velcro off, get it in a decent pose and put that Velcro back on, you can. So that's how amazing this figure is, and I love, how we get that. So again, it's the quality and the ingenuity that they put into making sure that we get some decent figures. So again, you see how that actually pops off right there. You pop that on and you're good to go. So I do like the quality that we're getting. But anyway, enough talk. Let's just go ahead and get this figure pose up into the next pose that I'm looking for. Now, again, we're going to go for a bit more dynamic. So what I'm going to do here is take this arm. We're going to twist the hand out that much like that. We're going to bring it out. So we want his arms to be, in a sense, this way with the baton pointed that way. I'm going to tilt his head slightly this way. Now you're going to see what I'm doing in just a second. This arm, I'm going to actually pull out to the side, back like that, because we're not going to do anything with that yet. What I'm going to do with the legs, though, I'm going to lift this leg up sort of like so, bring it out to the side, tilt that foot to the side like so, and it's going to be out this way for a particular reason, because with this leg, we're going to slightly, and I want you to see how we do this, we're going to slightly bend that, but we're going to bring it out like that, tilt the boot this way. So we're giving a wide stance with this. But what we're going to also do, if you look around here, we want to get some some waist pivot. So we're going to twist that around, sort of like that. Or actually, no, we're going to do a little different. Wrong leg, wrong pose. So, show you how we're gonna do it. We're gonna tilt this leg down. This leg's gonna be slightly out. This leg is the one that's gonna be on the side. Just wanna make sure we get that right. Make sure that I have it right on the camera. It's okay to make mistakes, we all do, but we're gonna get it. So again, here, let's see how we're gonna do it. Yeah. So we'll do it this way. Leg out to the side there. Now we want the head to tilt that way. Baton out in front. Again, make sure that you have those pieces on. And like a lot of these pieces are Velcroed on, so you want to make sure you do this a different way or a certain way. Have that leg tilted out like that. Now I'm gonna use the stand because I do need that stand to do exactly what I want it to do as far as holding the figure. Again, knee slightly bent here because you don't want his leg straight out. Because if it's straight out, let me get that down here so you can see. So we want that stance to be wide. Here, we want the stand to be, the stance to be wide here, knee bent here, knee bent over here, foot tucked to the side, out like that. And again, you can see what we're kind of going for. More of an actual wider stance with this particular figure. Again, we're going to take the waist, we're going to pivot it in slightly, just like so. And we're going to create the illusion. Now, when we get up here, we want that baton to be facing out. So you want to make sure that that hand is that way. And this hand, we're going to tilt out to the back. So we're going to lift up and lift it slightly out like that with the hand tilted that way, baton out to the side. And again, make sure that it's stable on the actual stand. And you want to lean him sort of slightly up, but you want to make sure that we're creating that illusion. Vantage point is always important. How you see it is how you're going to get it. So lift that arm up sort of like that. Make sure that that baton is in front of him. So you want the baton in line of sight, okay? So basically, you see his eyes, you see the baton. Boom. Simple yet effective pose. And we want that elbow out, so to the side, armor on. And he's just flashing, or just basically let you know, like, look, I mean business. So this is what we want. Again, slightly pivot in the waist. And there we go. Simple stance, nothing too major, yet effective. Let's take that up so you can actually see it. The ground up. And again, effective. So if we actually take this around, you get a chance to see how this is posed and how it's gonna look. Boom. Quite simple. Quite simple, yet effective. Simple and effective. And you get a nice figure pose. Again, arm, knee slightly bent here, and you want to make sure that that knee is bent slightly up, just to get positioning. This knee is slightly bent, but back, not fully out to the side. You know, it's sort of back. And this is basically going to be, now this is the planted foot here. So that's forward, this is planted backwards. But again, he's just standing there waiting for war. And this is what you're going to get. Simple, yet effective. I love that. I love that. Nightwing, baby. That's just how it is. I'm telling you, if you don't already have this figure, get it. You'll love it. So much presence. Who cares if it's a third-party company? support them, especially if you want figures that other companies will not make. Live a little. But this is what you can get from this figure. On to the next. Okay, so for this next pose, I wanted to incorporate a tad bit more of a flair. So I did borrow a dynamic stand from one of my figures to kind of pull this off. I need to get a couple more, but anyway, you can see basically where it's just him or Nightwing in action. So as you can see, slight tilt of the waist to your left. You have the left foot grounded as if he's in leaping position. You have the right leg up as if, you know, pretty much he's still in that same position. The right arm is slightly, and I want to bring that back, slightly tilted back, arm tilted to the side. And this is just giving the indication that this is his lead arm. So either he's already connected with the baton with another hero, or I'm sorry, with his opponent or a villain. But you know, at the same time, they are in line of sight, so he's already connected. And yeah, just a bit of a flare, slight turn of the the waist, leg up, left leg planted on the platform itself, right arm out to the side, positioned slightly to the side. As you can see, this arm is up. Now, is this again giving the indication that he's already connected, and the plantar foot is on the ground, this foot is in the air. And again, you can get like a dynamic stand to give that imagery, eyes pointed directly at the person that he's swinging at. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of create a bit more dynamic, and I think we've done that. You know, you can actually see with this, let me make sure that it is in the middle of the platform so you can actually see how we've done it. Again, just a slight configuration, giving it a bit more dynamic. You can actually use the dynamic stand. I don't really like to use the waist grabber too much, but in this instance, it works. So, yeah. I like that. And it's simple. Simple, yet effective. So if you have this figure, oops, sorry about that. If you have this figure, this will be an amazing figure to have and pose up exactly like so. I like it. I think you'll love it. But yeah, amazing. Simply amazing. I'm loving it. I am definitely loving it. Look at that. Let's go on to the next. And we are back. So what we got here is just another variant pose. Just another, it's a variant in a sense. Could be actually misconstrued as a character pose, but it does have a bit of dynamics. Just him with the baton down to his side, one up. He's actually turned to the side to receive either an opponent or an attack position. Again, using the stand for leverage as far as, you know, getting that balance that we actually need. But again, you know, using the imagination to capture just like a variant, just like a certain variant pose. Arm cocked to the side, arm to the side, the left arm to the side, a little bit lower below the torso, head to the side as if he's looking down, as if he's threatening an opponent. But yeah, not really much to it, but it does still give you the presence that you need, especially if you're going to have this figure in a DTOF or module case or any other display case that you have with other figures. Again, just creating that level of presence that we actually need to bring this character to life. So I just chose this as just more of a variant. But now, let's get to the grand finale. You already know what time it is. And we are back, and I figured I would end today's installment with a companion piece. You know, just displaying the excellence of these figures. So we have Oliver Queen the Green Arrow, or what they call him, the Green Vigilante, standing, you know, back to back with, or leaping back to back with, you know, the Night Vigilante, aka Nightwing. And I figured this is like a nice little companion piece. I wanted to do something a bit dynamic. We have, and I actually borrowed the stand from the Dark Spider, aka Spider-Man Noir, to pull off this dynamic pose here. Again, we have them back to back, you know, at arms, you know, watching each other's back. You'd have Oliver leaping into action with his bow and arrow. I love this figure. And then you have Nightwing in the back doing his thing. I love this piece. I love this display. I can't say this is how I'm going to actually have him in a DTOF because, you know, again, not much room to play around with. But just to give you an idea of what you can actually pull off with these figures. And just to reiterate that, you know, the Night Vigilante is an incredible figure. And it can, you know, you can place this piece up against, you know, some of the other DC quality figures that you actually have, even next to Batman himself, and you would still get quality. So I love this piece. I love this display. I'm happy with it. I hope you're happy with it. Again, this is the grand finale of today's Take Your Position. It's your host, LR, always bringing you the best of 1/6 scale content when it comes to posing. Again, you can, if you haven't already, like, subscribe this page or to my YouTube channel. I will put the link at the bottom where you can actually purchase this figure. I got this from Comic Sanctorum, both figures from Comic Sanctorum. So I will put the link at the bottom here. Again, as always, if you like my videos, hit that like button, subscribe, and share. And as always, prepare for my next selection. LR for the 1/6 scale man YouTube page proudly presents Take Your Position. I hope you enjoyed today's segment. I will be bringing some more videos in soon. Next up, I believe, is going to be the Arkham Harley Quinn. So look out for that one. But yeah, enjoy this video. It's your boy always. This is always telling you to just imagine, live a little, push these figures, you know, and you know, just push them beyond just standard, you know, character poses. You know, if you can get some dynamic out of them, why not? But again, I like it. You'll love it. Hope you like this video. You know, please place your comments below. Just let me know what you think. Again, take your position as always. Strive to be the best. Be kind to your neighbors. Collect. Love what you collect. And all those good things. Let's go. Peace. The Night Vigilante is an essential piece for anyone's collection. It is the second installment from the Titan series itself. Something that you should have and must have. I actually got mine from Comic Sanctorum. You can get yours there as well. I will put the link at the bottom of this video. Thank you for coming along for this ride on the Take Your Position episode. I do thank you very much. As always, subscribe and share, and as always, prepare for my next adventure. It's LR for the 1/6 scale man proudly presents Take Your Position. We out. Peace.